Hi, everyone. Welcome to DomainSherpa, and thank you for tuning into the podcast with the best domain name and digital asset content in the world. Today's episode is a DomainSherpa review titled Politics as Usual, featuring Ammar, Josh, and Drew. And as usual, we play the domain game, this time featuring horsesforsale.com, lumbermill.com, and spin.la. And then we've got the NameJetGonnaJet segment, sponsored by NameJet, where we talk about some domains coming up for auction, including junkyard.org, dairybarn.com, and risingtide.com. Then we get into some political commentary as well, maybe even tie it to domain names. With all the craziness happening in the world today, we could only avoid talking about some of these current events for so long. And remember, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can also watch the video version at domainsherpa.com and on our YouTube channel at ds.tv. You can also listen to the shows on Apple and Spotify and other podcast platforms as well. So please make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button everywhere that you can and help DomainSherpa grow the pie. We also integrate our shows with Muse.ai, which provides search functionality for the shows and transcripts as well. So definitely check all that out. And props to our sponsor, Dan.com, the #1 place in the world to buy and sell your domains with a special platform made for domain investors. And shout out to our own business, MediaOptions, the #1 domain brokerage in the world. Find out more at MediaOptions.com, where you can also sign up for our newsletter for the best domain names and domain opportunities available in the market every week, and also featuring key insights and other helpful information relating to branding, naming, and of course, domain investing. So with that, it's now time to get into this episode of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. What's up, Sherpa Network? Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jonathan Tenenbaum, a.k.a. JT, a.k.a. Jay On, a.k.a. Sherpa Winfrey, and I'm the host and producer of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Today's show is a Domain Sherpa review, where we get into the minds of successful domain investors using real examples so we can learn strategies and tactics to become more successful domain name investors ourselves. These are the experts. These are the OGs. And that line about using real examples literally comes from Mike Seiger's episodes back in the day. So we keep it moving. Big shout out to Seiger, by the way. So there's 4 segments to a Domain Sherpa review. We've got the grand opening. That's where I intro the Sherpas. We see what's going on with them. We talk about some related things, maybe some unrelated things, get into some AKAs. Then we got the domain game, where we hear about what the Sherpas recently bought or sold. Everybody guesses on what the price was. We keep scoring, get some swag to the winner. Then we got NameJetGonnaJet, sponsored by NameJet. We review a list of domains coming up for auction to see what the Sherpas like and what they don't like. And last but not least, we got GrandClosing, where we discuss anything we have not already covered, what's going on in the domain space, looking at the market trends, current events, and allowing the guests to mention or promote anything they want to talk about that we have not already discussed. Yeah, with that, let's go ahead and introduce the Sherpas. Over to my right, I got my boy Josh Reason, a.k.a. Bjorn Borg, a.k.a. Prince Harry, a.k.a. Harry Kane, a.k.a. Prince Harry Kane, a.k.a. Chicka Chicka Slim Shady, holding it down, Mr. Pickle in the building. What's going on, my dude? How are you?
Oh, dude, I'm good. Good to be here.
All right. I know you got a hard stop, so we're going to keep it moving pretty quick through the intros. To my lower right, I got my boy Andrew Rosner, a.k.a. Morpheus, a.k.a. the Dirk Diggler of Digital Assets, a.k.a. Bob Lee Swagger the Sniper, a.k.a. Drew. Drew got what I need, a.k.a. 6 rings. Count them. 1 for the thumb. Let's go. For those of you who don't understand the reference because you've been not following the show or you don't follow Drew on Twitter to hear him talking about it all the time, but homeboy just got recognized, NamesCon, #1 domain broker in the world, Craig, 6 years in a row, like Michael Jordan. What's up, man? How are you?
Yeah, good. I'm in full summer mode, just out here getting my conspiracy theories on, taking in a little sun, you know what I'm saying? A little sailing, little beach,
Little conspiracy
you know what I'm
theories.
saying?
Crazy. Where is Joe Biden? That's what we want to know, man. Is he okay?
Yeah, that's going to be the title of the show today. Where is Joe
Blink
Biden?
twice.
Filmed on
Blink twice if you're okay, Joe.
Tuesday, July 23rd at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Where is Joe Biden?
Where is he, man? What's good,
Yo,
dude? You
even
okay?
if the dude is alive, which he probably is, it's just like, what the? You know what I'm saying? Like, do you remember a few months ago when the Secretary of Defense, that dude disappeared for a few days, and that turned into a big deal? There was congressional hearings, like, yo, y'all can't just make the Secretary of Defense disappear on a medical thing and not tell anybody. His duties need to be reassigned. His powers need to be, authorized to be transferred. in advance, like all this shit. But y'all just thought you could pretend, it didn't happen. Nobody would notice. Well, we noticed. And now the president's missing for like 10 days, and we get a back of the napkin. Yo, I'm pulling out. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a birth control method. And the dude is like, he's just gone. It's just gone. He's like, I'm not even done. I'm not even here.
You posted on Twitter.
Just
Twitter.
pay
He's like,
attention.
yo,
don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's literally what we were told. Don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain. Like, I don't know. The whole thing is crazy, but here's a good thing. None of it matters, because what it has done is reaffirmed to me that we truly do live in a simulation, and none of this shit matters. It's just a game.
The most entertaining outcome is the most likely, right? So
that's it.
So everybody get your popcorn ready.
Or as Elon says, the most memeable outcome is the most likely.
There you go. So anyway, it is kind of crazy though. It is crazy, but we shall see. All right, let's keep it moving though, because we're not Conspiracy Sherpa. This is Domain Sherpa, and below me, I got my boy Ammar Kuba, aka King Kuba, aka Danny Ocean, aka the even greater Gatsby. Speaking of disappearances, remember when Ammar was gonna blog and post blog articles on the thing, and he did like 2 that were awesome, and then he's like, the next one's coming, it's coming. And then he's like, nah, they with Joe Biden right now. Joe Biden's proofreading them.
My blog is hiding out with Joe
and for the record, any of y'all that are like, oh, you're so insensitive, it's an old sick man. Fuck all y'all. This dude has been lying to the American public in the most powerful job in the world. So if y'all feel bad, I don't even care about your politics. But if like the president of the United States dips out on some fucking pull the curtain type of shit, like, oh, he deserves to be ridiculed. He deserves to be absolutely devastatingly ridiculed.
All right. Yes. And
everybody.
Well, I think
every American
here's
citizen.
the thing. I think that's, look, for all intents and purposes, right? For people who are like, man, and then we can move on, right? We don't want to make this a political thing. Although this is fun to talk about here in the middle of the summer.
It's
we're
really
slow
fun.
It's
a wild shit.
People, Joe Biden's seems like a nice guy, but he is the president of the United States. There are responsibilities that come with that. And, and if it's like, who is actually running the country? Like, who's in charge? Just at least let us know.
Right?
If it's not him, who is it? Like, cool, Joe's chilling. He's eating ice cream. He's riding his bike. Like, it's all good. It's the summertime. I get it. You know what I'm saying? That's what an 81-year-old dude should be doing this time of year.
That's exactly right. He should just ride off into the sunset.
Yeah, that's okay.
100%. But he shouldn't be pretending he's a president, right?
Yes, that's
and
the
he
thing.
shouldn't be telling us that. The part that pisses me off the most is like, and I'm not a Trump fan. Like, I think he's got decent policies, and certainly better than what's existing. And I think he's probably a necessary fix for some of the issues that we've got. But I'm not a fan of him. I think he's a terrible person. But that being said, like, they're out here, Joe Biden, on basically a daily basis before he decided to go fucking Casper, is out here saying like, this man is a threat to democracy. And the whole platform was basically about a threat to democracy. And here it is. They literally took democracy. Your votes don't matter. Your votes don't matter. We're going to decide who's going to be president.
Wow.
That's wild to me. That's just, I've been skeptical for a very, 30 years. I've been skeptical of the government. I don't trust it. I don't trust these agencies. I've seen firsthand how corrupt they are. And so I was, the level of trust or respect I had for the government and our processes and thing was pretty low. But I didn't even believe it could be as bad as it is. It really is disgusting. It's quite despicable.
I think it's pretty messy on all levels. Let's keep it moving. But yeah, I think it's messy on all levels. I think there's issues on all sides. I think you can have your, the issues that are important to you and why.
No, this isn't a political discussion. This has nothing to do with
I know. But I'm just saying it's all messy. This
is literally, we have an institution of the president of the United States of America. We have a three-part, part government, for checks and balances and all this. And they just stripped it of all constitutionality. They found loopholes to get around it.
Well, I think
they're telling us that we got weekend at Bernie's running the government, but they're clearly not him. And they don't even come out and be like, oh, let me put my hand up. I'm the one pulling it. Don't worry, it's okay. look at me. Here are my credentials. I'm making decisions on this subject. Here's the team behind Biden that's actually doing something. At least be transparent about it, even if it is non-democratic because you folks weren't elected. At least be transparent. But no, it's like, no, just right here. Focus here on the puppet. This guy, the guy that can't even keep ice cream in his mouth.
I do love me some ice cream, especially in the summertime. So let's keep it moving. But I feel where you're coming from. And it's crazy times. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. But let's talk about maybe how it might apply to domain names. You know what I mean? I will say that, I think that, I appreciate candidates that are more, that are going to be more favorable.
Speaking of domain names, y'all seen where Biden.com points to now?
Oh, I'm like, okay. I don't, should I even check it?
Go to Biden.com.
Oh, that's crazy. The photo of Trump with the fist in the air, the blood down his face. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a power move by whoever's got, that's domain names. Who controls the domain names controls the world. Let's go.
That's
Domains
it.
for the
Most
win.
powerful memes
All
in
right,
existence.
hey, by the way, I was in the middle of Ammar's AKAs when you hijacked it to go on another rant. So let me continue, please. AKA Ammar Zain, AKA Cooper Libre, AKA LL Ammar J, AKA Cuba Soze, AKA Telly Savalas, live from Las Vegas. What's up, man? How you living?
I'm doing well. Don't like
Kojak in
waking
this.
up early, but that's okay.
Yeah, we appreciate
I'll do it
that,
for
man.
Josh. I was playing pickleball last night. I didn't get home till like 10:30. And then you try to get to bed after like
it's tough.
intense pickleball. Your rates at like crazy and you can't sleep.
That's so true.
Yeah, Brian Johnson says no sex and no exercise after 8 p.m.
Brian,
That would fucking run.
I'm not.
And I'm like, yo, I'd rather fucking die at 80 than live to 120 and be sexless.
I'm pretty sure Brian Johnson's getting no sex all day, every day.
Brian Johnson ain't getting that Johnson. You know what I mean?
No use of his Johnson. Anyway, all right. Well, good stuff. This is great. Have we been canceled? Are we still doing the show?
Really help us.
It's all good.
Can't cancel this. This is all facts.
Can't cancel the truth.
Can't cancel the truth. That's it.
You should rename the show to Drew Rosner Uncensored. You'd be like Piers.
Well, we should have Piers Morgan. I'll make him look like a little bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow.
This is my dream. My dream is to just have a completely uncensored podcast where I just say I'm gonna while out. I just love it. You know what I mean?
I'm in.
Yeah, I mean, hey, someday. Someday. It's good to have dreams, you know what I'm saying? It's good. It'll keep you getting up in the morning.
Something to look forward to.
All right. Well, for now, let's go ahead and slide into the domain game. And let's talk about some buys and some sells, and let's talk about some domains. So, Josh, what you got, man? You got to buy, you got to sell. What you got going on?
Have any good sales to talk about, man? Unfortunately, I bought a few names. Let's do horsesforsale.com.
Horses
for
sale.com. And that's 4 spelled out, not the number.
Horsesforsale.com. Just like exactly how you think.
As you said it.
Exactly how you would spell horsesforsale.com. You know, it's funny like that.
No, there's no 4. There's no like number 4s in there or nothing like that. Nothing crazy.
Sale.com, and you bought it. All right. Horsesforsale.com.
Oh shit, I gotta get this joint. Horses for sale. Horses for sale.
So how do you spell 4?
Horses for sale.
FOUR.
FOUR.
And it's sale like SAIL, like a sale.
Yeah, like Gen Sale, right?
No. Hers is spelled the right way for this purpose.
What do you mean the right way?
Shout out to Jen for that. Well, it's
same, only different.
What if horses can sail though? That would be pretty cool.
That's what I mean, but that's not how you spell her name.
It's confusion.
Horses can't swim. Horses
Not
can
liking it.
swim.
I'm not liking this domain. There's too much.
This domain is there's too much
And
opportunity.
is it horse
for
like a
mistakes.
horse like the animal, or like your voice being hoarse?
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
it's
it
like
doesn't pass the radio test.
it's like a Mars email hung like a dot horse.
There you go.
Hung like dot horse. Let's get it. All right. You guys ready? Just ready to
Yeah.
flip it? 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Oh wait, hold on, I wasn't ready.
Ah.
But go.
Oh well, all right. Well, I'll be honest. I was gonna go higher than both of y'all. So
Oh, there you go. All
This
right,
is a
cool. So
buy.
Ammar's at 900. I'm at 2,444 in the spirit of the name, and Drew's at $4,888. So
Drew wins. Drew wins.
I was gonna go 4,444. Drew with the
listen,
point,
all
man.
these for sale names, they do well. They go for big money.
Yeah.
They always go for big money.
Well,
Because,
well,
it
was a buy.
homesforsale.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still there's a
There's a lot. There's a lot of
correlation.
search, and a lot of search volume.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't look up exactly what the searches are, but I know all that shit. Whatever it is for sale,
Wow.
if it's something that people actually buy, those things get a lot of traffic.
Yeah,
really.
I'm not saying that the name doesn't have value. I just thought that since Josh was buying it, that he strategically bought it cheap. That's all.
Right.
Josh, what'd you pay for it?
Yeah, you say that like you have a choice. You just buy it for
I
whatever the
know.
price
You
is
buy
going
it
to be. You know what I'm saying?
I
Oh,
know.
look at that domain. I'm going to strategically buy that one cheap,
I just meant that he somehow,
as opposed to strategically buying it expensive.
No, I mean, like it was an expired auction. I paid more than anyone else was willing to pay for it. So yeah, I paid more than the.
That's usually how you win an auction.
And what was that price?
Drew, you were on some shit today, dude. I like it.
What was that? Wait, time out. What was the price?
6,700.
6,700. All right, yeah. So
Wow.
Oh.
again,
Oh wow, he went big boy. Okay.
Again, my
Okay.
original price that I was going to put was 4,444, just because also I wanted to do the whole 4 thing, but
And you know what's funny is you still would have lost.
I still would have lost. Exactly. So whatever, man.
Mm.
Yeah.
And so actually that was just a bunch of words.
Just about, I was just saying though that I would have been closer to the pin, but whatever, dude. You know what? You know, I got the
That's
mute
like
button.
saying
I might
I'm
have
just-
to mute
that's like-
you today.
what
Like,
did
if I might
Jay-Z
actually,
say?
I can
What's
mute
Jay-Z
your
say?
ass. I
What
can
did
mute
Jay-Z
you.
say? That's like saying
I'm
I'm the
gonna mute
tallest
him.
midget.
I'm gonna mute
I'm
him.
the tallest
I'm
midget.
gonna mute
I'm
him.
the tallest midget.
I'm gonna mute him. I'm gonna use it. All right, Josh.
Just
Where'd you buy it?
I don't know. So I know a little bit about this niche, let's
Oh, yeah,
say.
you were also big in that run, man, too.
Yeah. I also just like real horses as well. Family back in
Not
the
just
UK.
them. Not just them Fugazi Web3
Well,
e-courses.
I mean, there's good search volume. So like in the US, 90,000 searches a month. In the UK, it's around 50,000 searches a month. So they're both very good markets for the domain, and I think I'll sell it for more. I think, I don't think it's like super high value, but somewhere between 50 and 100K. Sure, I can see it selling for that without too much
Let me
trouble.
take.
I'm with it.
Great, man.
I
I just learned a lot today. I gotta buy everything for sale.
Everything, yeah. What?
yeah, no,
where'd you
these
buy it?
names like for sale, cars for sale, sold. I forget what the price was. That sold for a lot of money. Homes for sale, sold for 7 figures. Houses for sale, property for sale. I think we sold that one. Farms for sale, land for sale. This stuff, it goes
Yeah.
for big money. You got
Politicians for sale.
67,000 global searches, 34,000 in the United States. Dollar CPC. Trend is slightly down, but basically just horizontal. You got somebody like ehorses.com is the lead, number one in Google organically, ehorses. So it's like, you want to be ehorses or you want to be horses for sale, right? That guy is ripe for an upgrade.
I kind of like it as well because it's one of those names that you can definitely outbound, right? And there's a bunch of people that you can outbound to, and I think that, like, worst case scenario, if you said, you need to sell this domain right now for 15, 20 grand, like, I think that I could do it.
Yeah.
So
Easily outbound. This is a name, like somebody approaches us, I'd say, yes, I'm very happy to outbound that domain because it's a very commercial domain. It's still a good brand. And like, honestly, little trick, okay? I don't think you've ever said this before. If you Google a term and the first 10 results, all of them are commercial, directly applicable to the term, you have you got money. That is a cash money domain name because it means it is an extremely high commercial intent keyword, phrase, or whatever it is. And if if you do the same thing, if you do a Google search and the term shows up and the first, 3 options are, Webster's Dictionary, Wikipedia, whatever, non-commercial things or ambiguous or like really, tertiarily related things, you're going to have a hard time selling that domain. You got to get lucky to sell the domain. There's no clear market established digitally for that name. Okay. If there was, there'd be people advertising for it. You'd have organic listings for commercial enterprises that value that keyword or phrase. But what I see here, horses for sale, you got 10 solid commercial listings. Every single one is literally a marketplace selling horses. Every single one, or a service that is associated with such. So I think that's actually a very good domain. I think you paid about the right price, and I think you'll get a 10, 15x on it.
Boom.
thanks, Drew. I'm glad I didn't go with the .ai that I paid $15K for.
Did you
What's
know?
this for sale.ai?
Did you know? All right. Well, good stuff. So Drew gets the point. Drew, the next one is actually on you. Buy or sell. Hopefully something I don't know about, so I can actually get maybe I have a shot still here in this game. Otherwise, I guess strategically it would make sense for you to name one I already know about. That would knock me out of there, and then limit some of your competition in this later round.
So there's that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm just trying to take a quick little. Oh yeah, I like this joint. Let me just take a quick look here, and then we'll go with this one, I think.
Yeah, buy?
What?
Buy?
He's asking, is it a buy?
This would be a buy. Yeah, okay, we'll go with this. All right, so I bought lumbermill.com. Lumbermill.com.
Out on this one.
Okay.
Lumbermill.com. It is a buy, and it's just Josh and Ammar. I feel like we should get the Jeopardy music going in this bitch.
Lumber mill.
One, two.
All right, here we go. Oh, big spread. Big spread. It's Josh at
Big spread.
2,500.
That's what she said.
And it's Ammar at 12,500. Thanks for tuning into the last episode of DomainSherpa, everybody. Appreciate it. It's always good to go out with a bang, son. You feel me?
Hey,
That's what she said too. That's what Joe Biden said.
Hey, it's almost what Donald Trump said. You know what I'm saying? So,
well, that's what I'm saying. Joe Biden said that about Trump.
You know what, man? Billy's going to be having his work cut out for him. Cut out all the inappropriate political talk. He's like, the show today was 26 minutes long. All right. So 2,500 and 12,500. That is your spread. Drew, who is the winner?
2,500 wins. Was that Josh?
Yeah, Josh.
Or Ammar?
No,
That was
Josh.
Josh.
Yeah. So the price was 3,500. It's 3,450 or something. But I don't know. I really like that name. I thought Lumber Mill was gonna, for basically all the reasons I talked about. Horses for sale.
Yeah.
But Horse for Sale has much bigger numbers.
Wow.
Also, what?
Lumber Mill's a good name. It's a good brand as well.
A good brand, yeah.
Yeah.
What will you price at, Drew?
Lumber Mill, I'll probably price it like 49,000. Looking for a sale in the 25 to 50.
Cool. That's good stuff. Where'd you buy it? I mean, I know, but
GoDaddy.
boom. All right. Yeah. So that's what it is. Lumber Mill. All right. So we got one more and then we got to slide in. We got a bit of a hard stop coming up in about 25, 30 minutes. And we still got NameJetGonnaJet. So Ammar, why don't you give a name? And then Drew and Josh, since you guys are the ones with points, this will basically be for the win. One of you two.
All right. I got a sale, my first ever sale of a .la. I've had
.la.
I've had really good .las. I have like 25 really, really good .las for over 10 years and never gotten a sale. And I keep renewing them and it pisses me off every year. So I finally
you sound like the director of the Secret Service saying that we had sufficient coverage at the Trump rally and say, well, how is it sufficient if the dude got shot? Contradiction. You're like, I got these great killer .la domains, but if they ain't sold, how good are they?
Well, that's not the name, it's the extension. So anyway, anywho, yes.
Point.
Right. So fuck you, maybe I'll drop them. It pains me to drop good names or what I thought were good names. But
yes, I agree. Back in the day, I had a whole bunch of these .ws domains, 1 letter, 2 letter,
But .la
well, look these.
It makes sense. It should be better. But anyway, spin.
Should it though? Wait. Should it though? I mean,
that's the should it though. That's the question.
You like, we about to let him slide on that shit.
No. I'm saying for a huge city, one of the most populous cities in the world
is okay. There's a Boston, right? Or and there's a .nyc. Does anybody use that?
Okay,
shit?
so I don't mind.
There's a .miami. Does anybody use that shit?
No, but that's long.
Berlin. I can tell you, I just came from Berlin. I spent a week in Berlin. I didn't see one goddamn .Berlin in the entire city anywhere I went. You know what I'm saying? I listen. Everything that isn't .com is a piece of absolute garbage dog shit. I used to not have that position, but I've just come to reinforce it over and over and over and over again because every single time there's a new extension that's like, it just never is. It just isn't. It's a handicap. It's like
he feels the same way about Bitcoin
dude,
too. You know what I mean?
Look at that dude with one leg. He's running so fast, and it's like, well, is he though?
But Drew,
because
or is he just running fast for a guy with one leg?
Drew,
that's it.
There's a difference.
Shout out to people with one leg. Like I got nothing but love for y'all, but you ain't running like people with 2 legs. Unless you got that metal shit that makes you go extra fast.
Spin.la.
Oh, that's perfect .la.
Right.
Spin.la. That's it. It's the only thing worth anything in LA.
If you are a small spin studio, what's wrong with Spin.la?
I think Spin.la is an awesome brand. I actually think that's a great brand. I think that is a great thing.
No, sure. Great. Super great.
So, here, let me put a number.
Not too high.
Gotcha.
Super great. I think it's super great.
JT, you got to get in on it, and if you win, then it doesn't matter. It's fine still.
All right, yeah, I'll throw it in there. I got you. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1, flip it.
Oh shit!
Oh, look at
wow!
The one time I didn't do 888, Josh.
All right.
So Drew's at 7,555. Josh is at 7,888, and I'm at 20,000.
Okay, so Drew gets it. It was 4,900. 4,900. But the problem is,
I was going to put $5,000.
I think that's an amazing name, and that's what I priced it at. It's been priced at that for 5 years.
And I'm
And
sorry,
it's
what'd you
never-
price it out, Ammar?
Okay, here's where the different. Here's where we are missing each other. For me to use the adjective amazing, the conclusion of whatever it is that's going on has to move the needle. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
oh, I made $100,000, or oh, I don't know, but it's got to be something that is equivalent to the powerful adjective that is amazing, right?
Right.
And so that's where we're missing.
But I'm going to push back a little bit. So
It's a
agree.
modest name. It's a decent brand. It's an effective domain. It's a applicable, but amazing.
For the spin studio that bought it, I assume it was a spin studio. I haven't looked.
For them, it was amazing. For
It's an
you, it was
amazing
less
break
than
for
amazing.
them. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. So
marrying your wife, that was amazing for you. Selling
shout out to
domain
Joseph.
for $4,900.
Like, for real.
Sell this domain for $4,900 was less than amazing.
So here's the thing. That is not a gonna move the needle, as you said. It doesn't change my life one bit, and we can go have.
It probably doesn't even buy the white pants on that silver statue behind you.
But what it does,
I have many questions about that. I've never asked, but I have questions. If we're going to bring up the statue,
but we can have a separate Sherpa about that.
Domain statue, Sherpa statue Sherpa.
But I think we've all talked about this, right? There's first of all, I get bored, so I just buy names, right? Whether I think they're $1 million names.
So this is all I want. I just want to get to the truth.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
So,
we all do it.
Right. So if I bought a name for $500 and I think it's worth 5,000 or 10,000, then I'll probably do it. But I'm trying to do less of it lately. But anyway, that's what we've done. So that's how we end up with these inventory, type names. And then you have your really good names or great names or amazing names that do move the needle and that can be life-changing. And then those you just keep them in your pocket until the right buyer comes along. Right.
100%.
But the reason I wanted to talk about this today is, first of all, it's my first and only .la sale. And the problem now is like, oh, well, I sold one. Maybe I should keep renewing them.
Yeah.
But
no, you should just cut your losses. Like, does that, so 4,900, does that cover acquisition and renewal fees on all the other ones?
Probably, but it's close. I mean, like I said, I've had these names for over 10 years. And
oh, wow.
yeah. And
really, you got into .la 10 years ago, that long ago?
Longer.
Yeah, because that's when they launched. I remember I was running NameJet. I mean, this is back in 2013, 2014.
Really? Was it so long ago? Because I remember that when it launched, but I didn't.
Yeah.
Man, a lot of time went by.
Yeah.
Like Paige was involved with them back in the day.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that. That was 10 years ago?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. 14.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So,
crazy.
Anyway,
so I think this is a really interesting question and actually does drive to a pretty cool conversation. So now, how many more do you have left?
I don't know exactly. I have at least 25, which I think are all pretty good ones. Now
you're effectively playing with house money.
I don't want Drew to yell at me.
Well, you're effectively playing with house money, provided you can sell another one and it doesn't take another 10 years to do it, right? Yeah. Otherwise, you're looking at, a handful. Otherwise, you could get out now if you were to let them all expire.
Right.
You could get out now as no harm, no foul. You've made your money back that you invested and you're at zero. So now the question becomes, do you continue to renew these things in an effort to try to sell one more that'll effectively change? Like, we'll make the investment, and keep in mind, this has been 10 years. So none of us are looking at it at trying to invest in something that's just going to break even 10 years later. Right. So are you cutting your losses? I mean, you're going to continue to hold these things because that's what you're going to do. But,
I have been seeing, because I spent a fair bit of time in LA, I have been seeing more local businesses using .las. So I'm seeing a little bit of an uptick in usage. But to answer your question, I think what I'll probably do is I'll probably drop a few, the ones that are kind of whatever. And maybe I'll go from 25 to 10 and just hold on to those 10 and maybe raise the price on the 10. I don't know. But
well, honestly, what would probably make more sense for these names would be for you to do a little outbounding, I feel like, because for names like these, that's what they need.
It's not worth my time.
I know, but I'm just telling you, if you want to sell them, otherwise you're just going to sit there.
If somebody wants to outbound my really good .las, hit me up. You can.
Somebody hit up Ammar and help him out, please, because I do think that picking up the phone on these is going to.
I agree with you.
Well, if you have names that are like just super, it's like that one is super applicable, right?
Yeah.
Spin.la. I agree. I'm busting chops, but for that, whoever bought that, it's a great brand.
It's an awesome brand.
It's a great value. It's a great brand. It's going to serve exactly its purpose.
Yeah.
No, all good. Nothing but positive. But, it's got to really be names like that. Pilates.la, spin.la,
right.
sandwich.la, pizza.la, right? Like small businesses that need a local identity, where this is better than having LA pizza, LA spin,
well, except though I would ask you this then, but do you also then need to have LA spinla.com?
So look, let me tell you.
Probably not.
No. So would you, I think we would probably all agree, well, I don't know, spinla.com versus spin.la, right? Like they're both good. I definitely like spin.la better as a brand, but would I pick spinla.com at the same price? Probably.
Yeah,
right?
I think that's a fair way of looking at it. I'd agree. I do think spin.la
I like
is a cleaner
spin.la
brand.
better as a brand, and I would, but what's maybe a better, I don't know what's better for SEO, but like, look at these names I have. I have barbecue.la, bridal.la, tacos.la, tailor.la, stylist.la, vintage.la, backstage.la. Like these are great.
I do. I like a lot of it. I like vintage.la a lot. I think that's
right.
good.
There's just
that's a good one.
They're all of that caliber, but they don't sell. It's very frustrating.
No, they don't sell. They don't sell themselves. Hey, it happened, man. But
listen, there's this funny saying. It's called "The truth is self-evident."
Yeah.
The truth is
true. I agree with you. You're right about this. And it's just my stubbornness doesn't want to admit that these are shit and I should drop them. But
I don't think they're shit. I think they're solid brands. I think though, when you look at the way, domains and, in order to get sales, right, especially if you want them to sell themselves, the names need to have enough demand and, where they're, it's not, you're not just waiting for, oftentimes you're waiting for that one end user to come along, but that one end user could be one of a number of people that are using a certain phrase as a brand, right? Which is why the more generic stuff is going to always drive more sales and more activity, and they're just more valuable in general. Waiting for a very niche kind of, sort of end user to come across it, especially with these alternate extensions that, you still have plenty of people who don't even realize that those are even options in the first place, right? So they're not even looking for a name like that. They're looking for something else. And, they come across that and think, oh, maybe that could work,
right?
So, part of the reason why that stuff's tougher. But anyway, all good. Congratulations on the sale. Interested to see the way the rest of the journey plays out for anybody who's interested in trying to sell vintage.la, like holler at Ammar. I think that one also has potential. So, all right, cool. Well, congratulations, Drew. You won the domain game. It's funny after however many years, being on the show. It's like you've got a few.
I don't have a lot of wins, but
few signature wins to speak of. You got probably less. Here's what's crazy: you have probably less domain game wins than domain broker of the year win. You know what I'm saying? Which is fucking wild. Anyway, but all good.
MediaOptions is the industry's leading domain broker specializing in domain acquisitions, high-value domain sales, and domain name consultation. As pioneers and thought leaders on the subject of the domain aftermarket and domain name value, plus through their clear domain acquisition service, MediaOptions offers startups and established corporations an unparalleled scope of high-value domain options, providing access to domain names and curation technologies not available elsewhere. MediaOptions believes in the power of a great domain name and is dedicated to helping you obtain yours. Call or email today to put a domain to work for you.
All right, cool. Well, let's slide into NameJetGonnaJet and let's see what we've got. So for those of you who
For the
don't
record, the reason there's such a big discrepancy is because we're usually, most of the time, we're talking about buys and not sells. And, people overpay for names.
that's it. It's a them problem, not a you problem, dog.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it.
That's definitely what it is. Anyway, all right, let's get to
Oh.
NameJetGonnaJet, where we got a list of names coming up for auction on NameJet. If you go to the site, DomainSherpa.com, for this particular episode, you can get a Excel sheet that's got the Esteban appraisals. Take that with a grain of salt. How many back orders is at the time that we record the show, when you need to get your back orders in by. Although if some of these, there's actually 2 maybe names on the list where the back order end date will have already passed, but you can still get into the auction. Although putting a back order in advance is usually pretty helpful in tracking the auction. Make sure you don't miss it. And then, we got some other data as well, some of the search stuff and links to the auction. So hopefully that helps. Definitely check them out. In the meantime, let's see what the Sherpas think. Let's go ahead and Ammar, I'm going to start with you on this one. Let me know if you've got the list in front of you, or if you need me to throw it in the chat.
Yeah.
And let's talk about names that you like, and then maybe give us one that you don't.
Okay. So 3 names I like. I like Rising Tide a lot. RisingTide.com. I'll be bidding on that.
Yeah, that's an awesome name.
I like Charisma with the K.
Okay.
I've done pretty well with those names. Where
Is that because you don't have any with the C?
and I like Junkyard.org.
Junkyard.org. Yeah, there's a handful of .org. So a couple of one words that I think are all pretty cool. I was kind of interested to see, what everybody thought. I'm going to do that as a final. Let's not get into it now, but kind of see out of the 3 or 4 or whatever, which one everybody likes the best. I think for you, you've mentioned that one, Junkyard.
There's a bunch of pretty good names, but I just those are the 3 that I like, that jumped out at me. And then the one I don't like is inauspicious.
Inauspicious.
It's it's negative, and B, it's hard to spell, and C, most of the dumb people out there won't even know what it means.
I'm Googling it right now. Even though I put it on the list.
It's just the opposite of auspicious. So does that mean like obvious?
Most people don't know what auspicious is either.
Yeah,
I'm Googling that now.
This is just like laud that went for a big number yesterday, which we talked about here.
What did it go for?
It was like I think it was in the 30s or 20. It was a bigger number than I expected.
What name?
laud.com.
Oh, Laud.
Laud.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Laud.
Yeah, it's a 4-letter though. You know what I mean?
No. Right, but I don't think most people know what it means.
Did we buy that?
Auspicious means conducive to success and favorable. So inauspicious means the opposite of that. So like you said, it's negative, tough to spell. It falls into the bucket of not all one-word.coms are created equal. And, so it's like, I would agree with you. So, all right, cool. Well, Josh, what about you, bro? What do you like? What don't you like? Has it finally cooled off in your office, by the way?
It's getting there. Doggy.com is all right. I don't mind it. There's like a
dogi.com for those
Dog eye.
Dog eye. I actually own Doggy, like DOGGIE.com.
That's good.
Nice.
Yeah, that's legit.
I don't know, that one kind of sticks out to me a little bit. Just for that reason, I would probably not. It's probably going to go too high, that name. I don't know. I feel like people are going to get carried away with that one.
I like DOGGIE.com. I mean, there's an example.
I love that one.
That's a great name.
Yeah,
That's a great
one. I like dairybarn.com, but I wouldn't pay that much for it. It's not quite right. Right?
Not like a strip club.
Like, is that the right term?
Dairy barn?
Isn't it dairy farm? But
Yeah,
like
dairy farm is more than dairy barn. For sure.
kind of
Nobody has ever said the words dairy barn in their life ever. Nobody ever said that.
It kind of like feel like it should be right, but because it sounds so much like Dairy
Yeah,
Farm.
it could be a strip club with large breasted
Totally.
women.
It's like the only contest in which it makes sense.
Dairy
So
Barn.
Dairy Barn was a chain or regional convenience stores located
I'll
in
buy that.
Right, it's like I was
maybe.
thinking Dairy Queen, and so that's
Oh,
fine.
that's
Like,
another one. Yeah. Dairy.
So-
Yeah, Dairy Queen also could have been a strip club. Get yourself a blizzard, dog. You feel me?
Yeah, so that one actually, I'm just like looking at the search results. That one actually is decent. Like if you can get dairybarn.com for a couple $100, it's okay.
All right. I
but it's
stand
like a
corrected.
5K.
I stand corrected. There are 1,900 people per month that search for Dairy Barn.
See?
3,000 worldwide.
What about Dairy Farm? Like how much higher is the
It's gonna
search
be-
We're
volume?
not talking about Dairy Farm. Oh, look, there's even a dairybarn.org. Let's see what they're doing. Dairy Barn Arts Center.
Hmm.
Youth Arts Program.
But listen,
Very-
like that is the only type of name that you can get for a couple $100. The ones where like you look at it and
They
you're
do
like,
wedding.
that's not really right. And then you do a little digging and it's like, oh, okay, there's some value here. Like any name.
Yeah, no, but I haven't gotten to step 2. I'm digging, but I'm not telling you the value. I'm just telling you
Oh no.
other people who utilize it in ways that
point
also
is-
have no value.
My point is, if you see immediate value, you're not getting the name for like $100, $200. You're just
Right,
not.
right.
So like
Or obvious
those are the type of
value.
names- those are the type of names where you can buy them for a couple $100 and they sell for like $4 or $5 grand.
But that's just the wrong mentality.
But that is the reality, though, right? That is the reality.
And that's the reality of why most people aren't making money. Because they got the wrong mentality. They do everything wrong.
I don't know.
Just-
I don't know.
That's literally
You
that's
have
the
a
exact
portfolio.
same metaphor as I'm not gonna buy Bitcoin because the price is so high I can't afford to buy a whole Bitcoin. So I'm gonna go buy, $100 a shitcoin because I can't. That'll get me 50 shitcoins instead of 0.01 Bitcoin.
I
And
do,
it's just the wrong mentality.
I do agree with you, but my point is that those names do sell at like, let's say, like a 1% sell through rate.
Yeah.
And there is a profitable model for people that don't have thousands of dollars to spend to like build up with that type of name.
Yeah, and
I
think
guess
that's
what
a
I'm saying is just because something can be done doesn't mean it should be done.
No, but I
Sure.
think at the end of the day, look, this name has value at a certain price as on the buy side, and we say it all the time that you make money on the buy, not on the sell. So if you can acquire this name really cheap, you likely can then sell it for more than you paid for it, right? I mean, I think there's enough. You're saying it yourself that you're seeing search volume, right? I mean, the name's
Yeah, but I mean, look at it.
It could be a
It's
brand.
Sydney Dairy Barn, Cheney's Dairy Barn, Sydney Dairy Barn, the Daily Barn Oswego. Right? Like, so these are like literally individual little farms, got the little dairy barn going on, whatever the hell that means. You know what I'm saying? Selling a little cheese. And so, or they're doing art center, right? But owning a generic dairybarn.com will do nothing for them. In fact, it would even almost be a downgrade to go from this is who we actually are versus, now we're Dairy Barn, right? Like, so I don't know. Maybe,
Okay.
I'm not saying it doesn't have any value. We've talked about much worse domains on this show, but I think it's
I mean, like,
it's one of those.
There's like two big standout winners on the list, right? It's like IHA.com, which has just got inherent value. Although as far as three letters go, it's not like the best one in the world.
No.
But and Rising Tide, and Rising Tide is like the most obvious one for sure. But the thing is with Rising Tide is that's gonna go to Drew or
How much? What's it going to go for?
It's gonna go for 20,000.
You think it's going to go that high? No way.
No,
No
you
way.
know why? Because
My vote,
what's
I think
the
7 to
retail
10 grand.
value on
7
that?
to 10 grand.
I
It's-
promise you, it's not going for.
The retail value is 25 to 50.
I
That's
promise
the retail
I
value.
promise you, it's not going for 7 to 10. I promise, it's not.
Rising
I
Tide. Does it have
definitely
SEO
wouldn't-
value?
it's not worth more than 10 wholesale for sure.
It is because it's going to go for more than 15. I guarantee it.
Well, that for whoever buys
All right.
it, not going to make any.
Oh, I hear big words. I hear big words like guarantee coming up. All right.
Let's
How
go.
much?
Time to put a wager on it.
Oh, we'll do closest to the pin. What's your price? And I'll do mine.
Okay.
Well, wait, should all of us do it?
Rising
Should
Tide.
all of us do it? Like,
I mean,
let's,
how much
Rising
money?
Tide.
I mean,
Oh,
how much money we
JT
putting
wants
in?
action.
we can all put $100 on it. Winner gets all the money.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
What do we think it's going to go for?
Rising Tide.
Hold on, put it on your phone. Whatever you think the final price is going to be on NameJet. What do we think the
All right.
final price is going to be?
Okay.
All right.
That's the right way to do it, JT.
Yeah, I love it. Let's go. Extended domain game. All right. Are you ready, Josh? You let us know. Put your money where your mouth is. I like it. This puts everyone gets a little skin in the game, because why buy the cow when you can get the dairy milk barn for free? I don't know. Spilling time. Spilling the time waiting for Josh.
Yeah,
Here we go.
well, I'm trying to get some margin here now.
Yeah.
Here we
3, 2, 1. Oh. There we go. All right. Ooh.
Yes, I got the right number.
You totally did, because I'm like so boxed in right now. All right, Drew's at 7,895. Ammar's at 9,444. I'm at 12,500, and Josh is at 12,900.
Wow, Josh got it, man.
Mofo.
I think Josh is probably right, but whoever pays 15 or 20,
I disagree. This ain't going for no 20 grand. This ain't going anywhere.
And obviously, you can't bid it up. You know what I'm saying?
I actually think that even
should
my
bid
bid
it
is
up.
probably over the top. I think 7,800 is already over the top.
I just unfortunately got prices right out of this bitch, because I'm gonna pay because I just maybe not 11,000, and I think I'm still good. So we'll see. But anyway, we will track it, and then we will post it. And we'll talk about it on an upcoming show.
Guys, this is going over 20. It's going over 20.
I love the name.
Why?
Personally. I should have been higher. I just expected
Why do you
Josh
think
was
so?
going to be in like the 18, and I'm like, I'm gonna get everything from like 10,000 to 15,000. But I just love this
No,
name.
John,
and we
why are you so?
There is so much commercial usage from a branding perspective, like too much for it to get any lower than like 15.
The other big brain thing too, I should have gone higher, is that the more we talk about it too, is also going to increase the visibility on the auction and push.
Yeah.
it.
I think
I honestly, I want to stop talking about it, because I'm the one who's going to buy it.
$7,500 domain. This is a $500 to $7,500 domain, and if you pay more than that, you are overpaying. You know, I mean, okay, maybe you're looking for a chip shot. You want to buy it for 15 and sell it for 25, but you know, that's not.
I just think there are
That's
tons
not
of
good business.
there's tons of brand applications here across so many different things. This can be anything from finance to
All right, I
to
think y'all should buy it.
consumer to boating to, like, I mean, we say it all the time, rising tide lifts all boats. I mean, we say it on like every other show.
Oh, that's a lot of things I say. They don't make good domain names.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm just angry that I didn't go higher than Josh now. I wish I threw 14, because I expected he was going to be too high. But I do like this name at 15K. I don't think that, I think that it will.
There are
Maybe I'm not saying I would necessarily like to buy it for 15K, but I'm saying I could easily see this.
JT, there are hundreds of businesses on LinkedIn, Crunchbase that are like Rising Tide Capital, Rising Tide Internet, Rising Tide Digital, Rising Tide Sales, Rising Tide VC, Rising Tide, like literally hundreds.
Yeah, the VC financial piece, because
they all waiting for that rising tide. They ain't got no money. You got to wait for the tide to come in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, maybe they're waiting for the tide to bring.
You know what I'm saying? Tide's out. The tide is
but it's
out.
it's such a cool uplifting.
Look,
like
it's a good
great.
I got an extra.
I
I got an
don't see
extra $300 towards my budget for buying it now as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
exactly right.
That's right.
Exactly right. I'll send it to you via Venmo already. All right, cool. Well, Drew, what about you? I think you're the only one who hasn't talked specifically about any names. Well, Josh, did you want to mention one you don't like, or you want to just kick it to Drew?
No, I'm good. I don't like. I don't like. I don't actually really like charisma with the K, but it's another one that it's it does have value, but I just don't like it.
Right?
Well, so
Drew.
you got a little charisma with the C. You don't need the K. You know what I'm saying? Ammar, he needs the K.
It's
Yeah.
K for Kuba.
There you go.
Those
That's it.
CDK names, they actually sell quite well, but I just don't like it.
So, all right, Drew, what about you? Because we got about
All right.
9 minutes.
I really like Doji.com. I wouldn't pronounce it, I would say Doji. Little Doji.
Ooh, little
Same
Doji.
little-
Okay.
Pass it over
Dogecoin.
here, yo. You know what I'm
Little
saying? Give me a little
Dogecoin.
pass it over here, yo. I like Doji. Obviously, IHA. It's NE&A though. You're probably more in the $50,000 to $100,000 end user on a 3-letter, usually with the A's, because it's like association or, it's not corporation or group or incorporated, right? So you have
By
the
that,
C, the
yeah.
I,
A
the
little less
G.
commercial.
Those things usually go really, really well because it's it's any with commercial global,
Yep. By that.
group. The A probably limits your upside on the end user sale. So, but the wholesale value isn't going to reflect that necessarily. So it's probably not a great buy, but it is a nice little 3-letter. But especially starting with the I, it actually probably does have a ton of end users. I haven't looked, but like International whatever horse association, right? International Homes Association, whatever. So starting with the I, ending with the A, gives it a whole lot of potential use cases, but unfortunately they're probably limited in budget, and so I think it's 50 to 100 end user, which means tough on the buy. I like junkyard.org. We all, there's a lot of junk. It's just a good name. Junkyard.org is a great name.
Yep.
But how much you gonna sell it for? $5,000, $10,000.
I think that one could go higher, but yeah, it's definitely limited.
Maybe
I think that's a 25K retail.
I thought
it,
there was another
could be, but you're stretching.
So the
Yeah.
3.org
You know what I'm saying?
domains,
It's
there's
stretched.
3 one-word .orgs in here. There's junkyard.org, marvelous.org, and vessel.org. And everybody likes Junkyard the best out of the bunch.
I think I like Vessel probably.
Yeah, marvelous. Yeah, no.
Yeah, I it's either Vessel or Junkyard. I probably
Even Vessel is like,
I'd go with Junkyard over those.
yeah.
I'd take Vessel. By the way,
Vessel.org. What are you gonna do with that? Like
dude,
boat tracking?
guys, there are so many brands called Vessel. So
Yeah,
many.
Vessel, dude. Beyond just like
Yeah, and how many of them want to own .org?
the one who couldn't get
You know what I'm
vessel.com.
saying? Like,
What do you mean? They all want to own .com, but yeah, but .orgs are pretty
yeah,
good.
Okay, just
no,
kidding.
but that, what I'm saying? Like, that's just not true. It's
The
not a good
.org is
backup
very
for the .com.
specific, so I think it. Yeah, but
The only
Vessel's-
commercial
Vessel.org is great,
businesses,
too.
Dude,
the only commercial businesses, there are, of course, there's always going to be some exceptions, but the only commercial businesses that utilize .org are 3 things.
yeah,
One is crypto.
yeah.
2, in which Vessel, I'm not sure has much application, but potential.
It does.
And then 2 is
Health.
SEO marketers, okay, in which there's no lead generation business for Vessel, right? So that's out. And then 3 is in knowledge business, right?
Yeah, you miss health. You miss health, which is a huge one.
What do you mean?
Health, like healthcare and health, like health applications, like they love .org.
Yeah, but the only commercial application of a .org domain name in that field would be in the lead gen SEO space. Same with insurance. You could say insurance, right? Same thing.
What do you mean? A health related startup using .org?
He's not going to use it .org. No.
I've seen loads, for sure.
Do they
They might.
still
I
exist?
mean, like a techie one might go for a .io or something, but like they can't all use .com. This is the issue. There's a lot of them out there.
Sure. But here's the deal. Here's where your premise is wrong. In most cases, of course, there's exceptions where you're right. But that guy who can't get the .com, as you're saying, right? They can't all have the .com. Fine. but they're either going to pick another name or they're just a cheap bastard and they're like, oh, well, let me buy this domain for reg fee, right? They're not like, oh, yo, we can't get vessel.com. Let's pay 25, 50 grand for vessel.org. That scenario, it doesn't exist in reality. Like, it just doesn't. That's just not the thought process. I've had zero people that have ever had that thought process.
Well,
Ever.
their thought process is often, what I can't get vessel.com. What are the alternatives that I can get because I want to use Vessel? So then you go down the line.
So they might go for a prefix.
Yeah, they go like
yeah, exactly. Suffix, prefix, suffix, .co. Maybe .ai if it's something AI related. .io maybe if it's tech. That's it. .net on a rare occasion, but .org is not a .com replacement except in very specific scenarios.
All right, I think
at least that's my experience.
I think health is one of those, but
yeah.
How many .org domain names have you sold into the health space? I've sold a lot.
Not as many as you, but you just said you sold a lot, so that's my point.
I sold healthy.org.
I sold med.org. I literally have sold probably millions and millions of dollars of .orgs into the health space. 100% of those, 100% went to lead generation.
Interesting. Okay, that's fair.
None of them were a startup brand. Zero. There were zero of those names that became a startup brand.
Well, I think we'll see. Let's see what they go for in the NameJet auction to start, and then we'll see what ultimately happens with these names as it plays out. But I think that was why, when I saw a bunch of good one-word.orgs that were, in the list this week, are available on NameJet and the expired. That's why, specifically for this reason of having this conversation. So it's good. So Junkyard versus Vessel. We're not loving Marvelous. A little long, even though it's super positive. But
that one.
Listen, the American public couldn't even establish that Joe Biden was half dead for 4 years. You know what I'm saying? You think they can spell marvelous?
Why you? I mean, honestly, the stretch that you just had to make, the Matrix style backwards reach that you just had to do to try to pull the Biden thing back into that, was it even necessary? By the way, it just came out.
And that was a completely reasonable metaphor. The general public of America literally have allowed a half-dead corpse to pretend that he was the leader of the free world for 4 years.
I think he got a lot worse in recent.
You think they can spell marvelous? I don't know. I think that was a pretty.
But hey, the Secret Service. Hey, the director of the Secret Service just resigned in as part of the fallout.
As well, she.
I mean, you knew that was coming.
Josh has to roll. All right, let's close it up. Josh, thank you.
Thank you.
Josh,
I'm sorry that I couldn't stay to chat longer. I would like to catch up with you guys, but
it's all good, man. Wait, we got it. We'll be on in after this.
Cancel all the bids on all those bad .org domains he was going to do.
After the Rising Tide auction, we'll get everybody back on the show because then we'll have somebody's going to have an opportunity to brag.
That would be fun to live stream the auction to have us while the auction's
while it's ending. That could be good.
Oh, when does it end? When does it end?
I'm down for that.
Well, we'll look and find out.
End?
Josh literally has to run right now, and it probably is going to save us all from being canceled. Josh, thank you for being on the show. Anyway, all good. We'll see here. Let's see the timing because we'll hang for a few minutes.
That one's for a while. It's not till July or August.
I have it on the
August. We might not even live till August.
August 12th.
August 12th. That's like a lifetime.
That's also assuming the name goes all the way to
They'll already have Joe Biden's dead body in the ground by then.
All right. You know what, man? It's you did say today was going to be, we're political Sherpa. So, we conspiracy Sherpa.
This wasn't even political. There was nothing political about it. This is like satire.
I know. You're right. Well, we are talking about politics, though. And that is.
Actually, we're not.
We're not taking political positions. We are talking about.
No, there's nothing political about this. We are literally taking satire of what is a sad state of affairs in what is meant to be the most powerful country on earth. We have, I could tell you, as somebody living outside of America, and like last night I was out on a sailboat with a whole bunch of friends, and we're just talking. I asked this dude, this one kid, like, what does this look like to you? And he's just like scared to even say, and he's like, literally, this is a circus. What are you guys doing? This is an embarrassment. Like, okay, so as an American living abroad, I'm sorry. I feel highly entitled to criticize the absolute circus that is happening in America, that is creating distrust and just we are showing such weakness. It is embarrassing. It is embarrassing. I am embarrassed to say I'm American because of what is being displayed on a global stage by a bunch of incompetent, half-wit people that are running a government that is non-constitutional, and something needs to be done about it. It is disgusting. It is disgusting. This isn't a joke. This isn't a meme. It is literally people's lives at stake. We have military men and women on foreign soil fighting wars, defending what is meant to be American democracy under a false pretense, under a false government that is non-democratically selected. It's disgusting to me. The whole thing is disgusting. It's shameful, and people should be held accountable. As far as I'm concerned, there is the whole top of the food chain in the entire administration is treasonous and should be held accountable as such.
Okay. Boom. That's it. I like it, man. That's good rant. That was solid. Good energy.
Disgusting. Disgusting.
I agree on the it's embarrassing how we are the most powerful country in the world, and
Well, we're not, though. We're not.
we should be.
I think
We're not.
some of this here, and
We're
some of this
not.
unfortunately stems from just the
A 20-year-old half freaking brain dead kid literally almost took out a former president and likely candidate to become the next president.
Right.
Like, and the reason is because some half freaking wit woman is supposedly running the Secret Service and is more worried about how many,
say women.
blacks, Indians, gays, women, whatever, are in the Secret Service, instead of just saying, oh, why don't we just select the absolute best of the best from each of the elite branches of the military and law enforcement? And those are going to be the people that protect America's most important people. I listened to that testimony, and she said there are 36 people that the Secret Service protects, or 34 or 36, I forget. There are 34 or 36 people who have a full-time commitment, protective service from the Secret Service. Okay, they have I think it was a $30 billion budget. Okay, that is $800 million plus per person being protected. I guarantee you that it doesn't cost $800 million per year to give a 100% guarantee that somebody will not die. No, if you watch that congressional hearing, it is embarrassing. It is disgusting. It is just like those answers have no place. Or it's like, okay, what I wish that somebody had asked is, I wish at the very beginning, without the stupid, belligerent, just statements, everybody saying the same shit over and over. It's like, can we just get on the same page? Are you aware, director, that your salary is paid by the American people? Are we on the same page that your job is a mandate from the American people? Are you aware that your sole purpose for your existence in this role is to fulfill the mandate of the American people, for the people, by the people, to protect the most important people running the country that is supposed to be the most powerful country in the world? Those are the questions that should have been answered, because my impression, not just from her, but from all of the other maggots and parasites in government, not in both sides, is people, they no longer believe that their job is for the people, by the people. They think of the people as working for them, or that they are above the people. They no longer, they being the administrative state, no longer believes that they serve at the leisure of the people. They serve at the leisure of those politicians who are selected and elected by the people. And we have created a set of protocols and rules that protect these people. They can't be sued. They can't be fired. And that is, it's unacceptable. And what I truly hope is that the people have finally woken up out of their sugar-induced stupor, sugar and pharmaceutical-induced stupor, and they go, you know what? All these conspiracy theories, they were right. And this is corrupt. And these people are disgusting. And they need to go. They need to go. Every single one of them. God, they need to go. We need can we just hit the reset button and start from scratch? Everybody's fired. Everybody. Top to bottom, you're gone. And if you want your job back, you need to reapply. And only qualified human beings of whatever race, gender, I don't care if you identify as a donkey. If you're the best person for God and you're a willing person to serve your country in whatever role it is that you are well served to serve, sign up. Let's go. But it is appalling to me. There's not even an adjective strong enough to describe the feelings I have for the disdain that these people have for the American people. They have disdain. They do. It's disgusting. Your job, sitting in that room, answering questions, is to inform the American public how you fucked up. How is it that you allowed such a stupid thing to happen? But instead, she gets on the defense and she's like, it's like we're in a trial. And, you're not a defendant here. You are a service person of the American government, and your sole responsibility is to be answerable to the people who we've elected to represent us. That's it. That's your job. And so if you do anything other than that, you should be fired.
That's good. So Ammar, how you doing, man? What's good? What you doing with the rest of your day? No, but look, man, I think that most reasonable people would agree with you. I think that when you look to see what had happened with the almost assassination of former President Trump, such a breakdown on so many levels, and and then it turns into this partisan finger pointing nonsense, and and like you said, you're talking about
it's like any one of these things alone you could forgive. I actually think that if we want to believe that we are who we say we are, America, this great country, the American dream, this powerful military, this phenomenal executive branch, then we need to act like it. And we're not. We are allowing for failure. We're allowing for excuses and failure to be the norm. Our status quo is incompetence, and that is not acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't have your cake and eat it too.
True.
You can't say that we are the shining house up on the hill
that
everybody wants to be like. I can tell you right now, as somebody living outside of America who travels all over the world, there are zero fucking countries. There are zero fucking countries in the world that go, I want to be like America. We have reached what I hope is the bottom. And I hope that all of these series of events, like I said, any one of them could potentially be excusable, but it's like and every single one of these events, the president is in hiding. What are you talking about? How is that okay? In what world is that okay? He should be immediately 25th Amendment. He's gone. Let's go. Come on. Gone.
I think it's going to get worse before it gets better, but let's see.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing.
Unfortunately, I agree.
You have this tribalism now, and everybody's and it is this overwhelming. It's identity politics. It's not. We're not focused on the things that matter the most, and and it is now creating this whole fractured, terrible situation. And I agree with you. Government can't seem to do anything right. The incompetence and the just all the different pieces of all that. We're in a bad way. And to Ammar's point, I do think it gets worse before it gets better. And right now it is beyond satire. So, but let's keep it moving because we're going to wrap this show up. So for those of the audience who have stuck around this long, guys, through all the stuff today.
And I apologize to our audience. Anybody who does not appreciate my comments, you can send me a message. I got to reply for your ass. But look,
we will
honestly
refund your money that you paid for the show.
we all have a responsibility to honestly just speak up, okay? And I don't
Yeah, I
care
think
what side of the
that's
island on. I
that's
think
look,
everybody
that's a fair point.
everybody just needs to have a voice, okay? I think we've been silent for too long. The only people that have an opinion are the people at the extremes on the left and the right. And it's time for the bulk of America, the actual heart of America, to wake up and say, you know what? Enough is enough. This is unacceptable. And so I apologize, but I really avoid politics. I really don't like politics for all of the reasons that I've just gone off on. But now it's just gone too far. And I think everybody needs to have a voice, and whatever your voice says, whatever it is you believe. But I think that the one thing that I think America can unite on is that this is not okay. This is not okay. The failure of the Secret Service is not okay. The pretending that Joe Biden is the president is not okay. The all of it, the rhetoric on the left and the right, it's not okay. This divisiveness is not okay. The leader of the country should not be on either side, should not be degrading the other side in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, well, and I think that's a really good point. And let's close this up. But that's the piece I would like to mention is that, when you talk to people and you see people who have different political views, when they actually speak to each other about things that, that truly matter, and I see it like with, youth sports and stuff like, when we talk as human beings to one another, especially, or talk as Americans to one another, there's so much more that we're have in common than that we don't, right? It's just that people get so caught up in some of the tribalism, whether it's the competitiveness, the you versus me, this is my side, that's your side.
Yeah.
Sure, we can disagree about particular issues, and people can be passionate about that because these are things that matter. But when we actually communicate on a human level, more people get along than not, right? And there is more that unites us than divides us. The problem is that politics and then when you look at the news shows and the CNN and the Fox News, and I say this all the time, they're not reporting on news anymore. They're just trying to trigger a response. They want an emotional response from you so that you continue to watch, you continue to log in, you continue to click, like all of that kind of stuff. So, it's not even about the facts. It's about how they want you to feel about it. Right. And that kind of shit has turned this thing into a spectator sport, which is also really ridiculous. And you look at the function of government, what it's supposed to do, who it's supposed to be for, and they've all lost the plot, and it's this government bloat. I mean, I'm definitely lean a little bit more. I feel like I'm pretty central with my beliefs. I'm pretty libertarian with how I feel government should be involved in a lot of things, because most stuff that they do try to actually administer, they usually do a pretty bad job of it at a cost that's 10 times what, it can be really done for, or what it should actually cost. So, and obviously people get emotional because, to your point, Drew, when you look at how this has devolved over time, it's now we've gone from the strongest, most respected country in the world to a laughing stock across several levels, right? And I think that has been a Trump through Biden situation, right? And you can disagree about a lot of things, but at the end of the day, we should set an example, and we're not doing that. It's all fucked up, and it is almost beyond satire at this point. So anyway, hey, look, and it's not bad to talk about it. You have a platform. I mean, to say how you feel, it's your right? And now to the audience, thank you everybody for tuning in. I know a lot of you folks we've met or communicated with offline. So, on that same
we can
level,
get back, look, if we can get things back on gear, it's good for domain name. You know what I mean? We need a functioning state in order to have a functioning economy and a functioning public that is spending their time and their resources on rebuilding a healthy economy, a healthy society, and not tearing it apart, because that doesn't lead to good outcomes. And so, look, it all ties back to domains in one way or another.
Yep, 100%.
Like
that's what it's all
Biden.com.
about. And you know what you would say in that same vein? A rising tide lifts all boats, baby. You know what I'm saying? So, and we shall see what happens with that domain. And as we follow back up on it, looks like August 12th. So we'll that's the end of the back order date. So
3 days after that.
Yeah, so Thursday might be, that Thursday that week, or Wednesday, whenever the auction's closing. We'll have to figure out the timing. But anyway, all good. But hey, to everybody out there in the audience, listen, we got mad love for everybody. Appreciate you all tuning in. As I say in every show, without you, there is no us. Hey, let us know your feedback on things. It's always great to get people's sort of, view, interpretation, feelings, thoughts on all things, domains and otherwise. I know we've got a pretty international audience. I was going to say, you know, we've gotten to communicate with a lot of folks in person and, you know, offline. And so we, you know, and all of that kind of stuff, even when we all don't agree with even people who listen in on the show, we there is common ground where we do find things that we all do agree on and do matter to us all collectively. So so appreciate all y'all again, but let us know you got some feedback, hit us up. We're not hard to find. Drew, Ammar, thank you so much for jumping on today. Ammar, my dude, you know what I'm saying? Appreciate you.
Good to see you guys.
Bringing you into this mix. And Josh, of course, although he had to leave early.
Listen, big shout out, Ammar. Thank you for getting up very early to join us. Seriously, I very much appreciate that, and I know our audience does too.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah,
Thank
no,
you,
it's all
guys.
good stuff.
Good
This
seeing
is cool.
everybody.
We're keeping it interesting in these crazy times. So, all right, well, listen, thanks everybody, and we're gonna call it, and we'll see everybody next time here on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains
Peace.
and politics.
Peace.